Alright guys, this is the Redcamp stove, and this thing has been one of the greatest little assets I have found for cooking. And this little stove uses nothing but twigs and sticks to do the job that you need for cooking, heating water, or whatever. So let's open it up and get into it. Comes in this nice little case. It's got a zipper. It's all contained. This thing can fit right in your backpack and slide underneath your seat. Doesn't take up much space, and it pops up into a nice little full-size stove. So let's do it. The stove will look like this. Now this, obviously, it has been used. I've used this for the last several weeks, multiple times a week. It's got a grate like this, and this will go on top. This here is an ash catch pan. This will slide in at the bottom. And this thing is really neat. It just folds. So on the inside of this, there is a drop-down grate. Looks like that. On the front side, you have a door. And this little ash pan slides in from the side. The neat thing about this little stove is you can set it about anywhere. It's not like a rocket stove where it can tip over and fall on you. No matter where you put it, it's pretty solid. Obviously, the flatter you get it, the better you're gonna cook. And then this little grate goes on top, and that's about all there is to it. And this little stove is ready to go. Bam! Little stove right out of the bag. Since purchasing this stove, I have made a few little modifications. Took a little piece of metal like this that you can pick up at a hardware store and just snipped out a little piece like this to fit on the bottom to help hold littler twigs and things without falling through. So with that, just cut it out the side. Other little modifications that I've made to this stove is I've taken two 1-inch little pieces of metal like this, notched them out, and then made notches on the stove itself. So this way, when I've got like a 12-inch pan, I can put it on here without suffocating it. I'll see if I can find the video. I found this out from somebody else who found it from somebody else on the interweb. So if I can find out where this video came from for these modifications, I'll make sure to put them up there. And so if you're going to be using bigger pots or pans, you know, a little modification like this allows it to breathe. For today, I'm just going to throw this grate right up on top here. Now that I have this thing all assembled, let's take a good look at this little unit. This front side of it has a door that opens and closes like this on a little hinge down at the bottom. This is where you can feed your wood in. It's got this nice little spinny latch on here with a lock on the back side, so that way you can make sure that she stays nice and close while you're in operation. And it's got nice solid hinges. I have used this thing several times a day for several weeks in a row, and this thing has given me no issues whatsoever. The grate's pretty sturdy. It's not warping out or anything. I've made full meals, heated tons of water. I have run tons of sticks and twigs through this thing, and this thing is incredible. This by far was one of the neatest cooking purchases I have picked up. So literally to use the stove is really easy. We just usually pick up a bunch of sticks and twigs and things that are around. This cost us absolutely nothing. So it's a cheap way to be able to make your fires and cook your food. So what I like to do is I like to just get a bunch of sticks about the same size as in there and just kind of break them up. And there's nothing too specific about this. Just get a bunch of sticks in there and just light them on fire. Super easy. Okay, so literally takes very little sticks and twigs at all to get this thing fired up to get your water done. So what I like to do is I have this little Molle bag here that I picked up, and I keep this, if you watched one of my last videos, you'll see I keep this on the door of my van. And inside this Molle bag is my fire starting stuff, and I always have it handy. And it's right here on my door because, well, this is where I'm starting fires. So it's really handy to have yourself a little fire bag. Picked up these little Molle bags. I think I picked up like 2 of them for like 12 bucks. My other one I have is a first aid kit. We'll probably get more into these bags later in the future. Let's get a fire started. Also inside my fire bag, I also have a little knife. Knives are very important. Keep them everywhere. So how I'm going to start this today, I'm just going to use a paper towel and I'm going to use a lighter. Also very handy, keep yourself a pair of gloves for breaking up sticks, dealing with dirty pans and pots, and I just keep these pair of gloves with my fire bag as well. Okay, so usually what I'll do if I'm going to be boiling water, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some coffee. So I just got my metal teapot here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to throw that right on top. I haven't started it yet. Throw that right on top, just that easy. I stuck a paper towel in there. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that. I'm going to close this, and basically that's all there is to it, and then just walk away. It's really that easy. Just like that. Like less than 5 minutes later, I've got nice hot boiling water for my coffee. Okay, so when you're looking at this stove all assembled and up together like this, it is about 9 inches by 8 inches by about 11 inches tall and folds down to about 2 inches. Okay, so I just wanted to go over the modifications that were made on this really quick. This here is just a thin piece of like aluminum, little finer hole type piece of metal. And the reason why I did this is so that way I can put more little twigs and sticks and keep that heat up a little closer. If you'll notice in here, this grate has got some pretty big holes in there. It's not really a problem, but this is just an easy way to modify that to make that a little better. Cutting that to size. So that'll just slip in just like that, which just gives a little extra for being able to put twigs and sticks. So one of the other modifications that were done were these 2 pieces of metal here. And if you notice, there's a notch cut out on either side there. Same for the other one, notch is cut out. And if you look at the side of this, they've taken, just use an angle grinder and made a notch on both sides here. So these little pieces fit on just like this, all nice and secure. The only reason for modifying your stove like this, for like me, I do huge meals, so I'll use a bigger pan. This is my 12-inch Lodge cast iron pan, and when I throw this up here like this, it allows for that to be able to continue to breathe for that fire. So it's the only reason for this modification. And then I just pull right off. So who would this stove be for? If you were an outdoors person, if you were a backpacker, if you're living RV or van life, if you love to cook outside, this thing is perfect. If anything ever happened to this stove, I would quickly get another one. I think I paid less than 30 bucks for this on Amazon, and I don't regret it one bit. Pros for this stove, it uses no propane. So if you got, like inside my van, I'm set up with propane. With this stove, I am using absolutely no propane. It folds nicely into its own bag, so it's not a mess. It fits virtually anywhere. It fits in your backpack, fits under a seat, fits wherever you want it to fit. Cons for this stove, you will notice that this door here can seem a little sticky at first. So what we've done is we've taken and just kind of bent this edge out just a little bit. Not a big deal. I use this thing every day, and I will continue to use this stove. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button if you find any of this handy, and if you've been following our little saga, thank you very much, and continue following. We're not done yet. Yeah, this place is beautiful. Camp here has just been awesome. We're probably not going to be here too much longer, but nonetheless, about ready to move on. Our temperatures are getting back up to the hundreds again, and so, well, thank you guys again for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day from the both of us, and we'll see you on the next video.